Okay, so now we're in question number 2 of the ACT English test. Let's begin. So I like to begin by reading it. Cynthia Moss has been studying elephants since 1972 when she started the now famous Amboseli Elephant Research Project in Amboseli National Park in Kenya. If you watched the last video, you would recognize that anytime they have really long names like this or a bunch of unnecessary information, I like to get rid of it because I know I'm going to be reading the sentence multiple times and I don't want to read all this unnecessary stuff. It gets in the way of me understanding what the correct answer could be. When she started the now famous project in Kenya. Okay, that sounds better. So how do we assess which one of these is going to be correct? Well, there's a couple ways of doing it, and the most popular method is going to be that concision technique, and that's where we find the most concise answer, we subvocalize it, and we hear how it sounds. If it sounds smooth, it's most likely going to be the right answer. If it sounds jarring, find the next most concise answer. And so the most concise answer in this case is going to be the one that has one word, famously. Now, if you don't recognize that this is an adverb, so it can only modify verbs, and you were to say this along with the project, it should still sound jarring. When she started the famously project in Kenya. You notice how it does not sound smooth at all, right? It sounds jarring. So even if you don't understand that this is an adverb and not an adjective describes a noun, whereas an adverb describes a verb, you could hear that when you subvocalize this, that it just sounds jarring. It is definitely not going to be correct. So we got rid of that. Okay, so the next thing to do is to find the next most concise answer. Well, now it's a toss-up, right? Because we have now famous, or we have now no dash famously. Okay, so if we were to subvocalize the first one, right, because technically it is shorter, it combines the two words together with a hyphen. Now famous project in Kenya. Well, that sounds fine, doesn't it? Right, so because that one sounds fine, and it's the next most concise answer, most likely F is going to be correct. In fact, 80% of the time, F will get you there. So now let's read the others and figure out why they are incorrect. Well, just like J is incorrect because it's an adverb, right? Adverb. H will be incorrect as well because look, we have another adverb. And my clue that this is an adverb is this ly, right? The ly lets us know that we're probably going to be describing a verb and not a noun. We need an adjective because this project is a noun, and if I want to describe it, I'm going to need an adjective. So therefore, H is out of the picture. Now, what about G? G is definitely not going to be an adverb. It's sort of an adjective, you know, it's a hyphenated word. The one giveaway is this word then. You see that? More than famous. We would want to say more than, right? More than famous, because we're just indicating that it's very famous. It's more than just famous. And so that's what they mean by that. But again, this isn't anything that we would be familiar with, and it's not the most concise. So I would get rid of G as well. It doesn't really make any sense. The more than famous project in Kenya, I don't really know what they mean there. So this is definitely just going to be a case of awkward. Okay, so next is answer choice F. So again, through two techniques, we figured out that answer choice F is going to be correct. Remember, the first thing we do is we get rid of this unnecessary information here. It helps us assess the sentence when we're reading it out loud to ourselves. Next, if we're going to use the concision technique, we find the most concise answer. We subvocalize that. 80% of the time, that's going to get us there. That led us to answer choice F because the others sounded a little jarring. But if you know your rules, then you would know that this is an adverb and that's an adverb. So therefore, those could not be describing a noun because we need an adjective to do so. So you would have recognized that H and J are going to be incorrect. And then G, besides the fact that it's not the most concise, is awkward, right? It really makes no sense at all. More than famous project. I don't know what they mean by that. And you can expect the ACT to give you answer choices that really don't make any sense. So G is going to be incorrect as well. And again, that left us with answer choice F. Thank you.